told you to stay in the vehicle. You didn't stay in the
get
vehicle.
back in, right?
Now that's battery on Elmo.
What battery?
You just touched my hand.
It was a pretty run-of-the-mill day for all accounts, however, until a Mother's Day turns into a situation she would soon face as it spirals towards a crisis. She would be leaving the hospital after her young daughter was treated for a bad bout of fever, and her only aim and concern now would be to get the child home. The fever made the mother almost hysterical because she knew that if the health status of her daughter continued to deteriorate, the child would experience a seizure. This caused much distress, and on her way to the hospital, caused her to be dazed by the stress, and she did not notice flashing lights in a school zone as she sped past them.
It's flashing too.
I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. My baby had a fever and I just picked her up.
Okay.
I got it.
I need to see your license,
problem.
registration, and proof of insurance.
Yeah, she had a fever, so I honestly don't care. I'm trying to. Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
It's all right, I got it.
You want me to open it and pick it up?
I got it.
You sure?
Yep.
I didn't mean to do that. My insurance is here.
Okay. Do you still reside at...
No.
How long ago did you move?
It's been a while.
Like over a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even lie. I know I'm supposed to change.
Yeah, in the state of Florida, you're supposed to update all of your information, your driver's license, your registration within 30 days.
Yeah. I just haven't had the time. Sorry.
Okay. You said...
If you're going to give me a ticket, can you make it fast? I got to pick up 2 kids. I'm sorry.
I'll go as fast as I can.
No problem.
Before she truly understood what was happening, she knew that she was being pulled over by a police officer. The policeman went up to the vehicle, his face severe but still professional. The mother was still attempting to keep her attention on her daughter and did not know why she had been stopped at first. She had gotten out of the car at some point, while it seemed that by focusing on her daughter anymore, she must remember something. Her mind was elsewhere, completely absorbed in her child's health, and she hastily offered an explanation to the policeman. The policeman listened, but no matter what the mother had to say for herself, there was a procedure that the officer had to adhere to. He had to ask for license and registration calmly, sensing the heightened tension. The mother was agitated. Starting to search through her belongings, she could hardly concentrate, however. She had failed to update her new address, a fact that made her anxious in the first place, as she came to realize she was non-compliant with the 30 days mandatory legal requirement for relocation.
Where's the insurance you're trying to show me?
I told him my baby had a fever. That's why I'm rushing. I don't want her to have a seizure.
Okay. Do you have your registration with you as well, ma'am?
Oh, that's on my phone too.
Okay. While you're pulling that up, I'll go add your information to my traffic stop. You're the registered owner of the vehicle,
Yes,
correct?
I am.
Okay. All right. I will be right back. Please stay in the vehicle. Don't get out for any reason. Yep.
I don't mean to rush you, but my baby has seizures from having a high fever.
Okay.
So that's why I was rushing when I picked her up from the school.
Okay.
From the hospital. So if you
Like I said, I'll go as fast as I can. I got you. I gotta get my car to do that, though.
Charlie 224. 100 aviation, India Foxtrot.
Since the officer understood the situation but remained by the book, he reminded her to always update her records and went ahead to ask for documents. She begins sifting through her papers in perplexity, and the nervousness is building up. Her child's fever and fear of a possible seizure present themselves at the forefront of her mind as she keeps asking for how her daughter is, apologizing multiple times for her condition while clearly distraught, and pointing out that this was the first time she had picked up her child from the hospital. She asked for the process to hasten so she could take her daughter home, observing her condition periodically. Although the mother was getting worried, the policeman did not seem to share such emotions. Instead, he attempted to pacify her during the stop. He said he would call for an ambulance for the mother's daughter's safety. The mother did not seem to be any more relieved of her anxiety. For her, an ambulance appeared to be a gross overreaction. She merely wanted to get home. However, the officer had to weigh between executing his duty in preserving order while dealing with a disturbed mind of a parent. He began writing a speeding ticket, all the while continuing to attempt to ease the agitated mom. At one time, tensions were high when the mother, who could no longer stay in the vehicle, got out of the car to check on her daughter. Her actions were frantic. Her mind was totally and completely with the child, so much so that she stepped out of the vehicle again, notwithstanding the officer having asked her to remain in it some moments before. This disobedience further complicated the encounter, as the officer was not only dealing with a traffic infraction, but was also with her failure to comply with his instructions. He reiterated that she ought not step out of the car, but her anxiety had gotten the better of her, making it hard for her to think clearly.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please get back in the car. Please get back in the car, ma'am.
I'm about to check
213
on my
flag.
213 flag.
You gonna let me check on my
Charlie,
child,
213.
right?
Get back in the vehicle.
I need to check on my
Get
child.
back in the
So
vehicle.
Draw your gun, then draw your f***ing gun. I ain't got nothing
1069
on you.
code 2.
And I'm pretty sure you got your body cam on.
Charlie 214.
Ma'am, get back in the vehicle.
How about that?
we
And
can
write
call-
my ticket so I can pay and get it over.
We can call an ambulance if your baby needs assistance.
29 1054 valid. York jail. Traffic ticket. 10.
Can you hurry up? Because you standing there watching me and my daughter can have a f***ing seizure.
Ma'am, I told
Do
you.
you have kids?
I told you to stay in the vehicle.
But I need to
I
check
can
on my
call
daughter.
you an
I'm telling you.
ambulance.
Can you hurry up and write my
I can
fucking
call
ticket?
you an ambulance if
Then
needed.
call the ambulance while you write my ticket because I
Okay.
need to check on my child.
All right, I will do that.
Do that way instead of talking to me.
Okay.
You still
213
saying
flag.
I'm paying me, but I don't see you calling the ambulance yet.
Charlie 213.
EMS code 1
Call
reference
for
to
backup. I don't
my
give. How about that? You still ain't calling the ambulance yet.
I just called it, ma'am.
I ain't hear you say ambulance,
That's what I just said here,
but I
ma'am.
ain't hear you.
Okay,
I can hear
it
you
doesn't
yelling
matter.
at me, but I can't hear you.
Ma'am, it doesn't matter. Ma'am,
Can you write
either get back in the vehicle or you're going to jail for resisting without.
Take me to jail.
Okay.
She was told by the police officer that further measures would be employed if she failed to comply. She was in no state of mind to obey the police officer, however. She kept emphasizing her concern and alarm over her daughter's illness by saying the fever might trigger a seizure of the child if not closely watched. Still, he did not have another choice but to make an example out of enforcing the rule. When she touched him while trying to adjust her shoe, probably an unconscious move in the heat of the situation, the officer viewed it as a physical contact that would amount to a battery. The slight touching was not an attempt to do harm, but another controversy that would add up with the encounter. With the emotions running hot, he then informed the mother that she is arrested not just for failing to comply with his instruction, but also over the alleged battery. The panicking of the mother was magnified. She was utterly baffled about what the officer said because she could not understand how the trivial incident could have been perceived as battery. Her protests turned into louder cries as she tried to explain that she had only been trying to care for her child, while the police perspective lay in needing control and abiding by the law.
Step out. Step out. Step out.
My daughter is sick. Come on, you
Step
can
out of
stop
the
this.
vehicle.
For what?
Step out of the vehicle.
For what?
I told you to stay in the vehicle. You didn't
I had
stay in
to
the
get
vehicle.
back in, right?
Now that's battery on LEO.
What battery?
You just touched my hand.
You got my
213
daughter
flag,
crying.
1069 code 3.
Oh my God.
Ma'am, step out of the vehicle.
She's about to have a seizure.
Step out of the vehicle.
She's about to have a seizure.
Ma'am, step out of the vehicle.
We need to get her
I'm
to
not.
the hospital.
Okay, I have an ambulance
But
coming.
I didn't do nothing. I had to check on my daughter.
Step out of the vehicle.
Hurry up. Hurry up, please. Just
Step
hurry
out
up.
of the vehicle.
Please, calm down.
Step out of the car.
Sir,
Step
my
out of the
daughter.
car. No, step out of the car.
What did I
We're
do?
done with that.
I
We're
had
done
to
with
check
that.
on my daughter.
Step out of the car.
Why is he being so rude?
Step out. Turn around. Turn around.
Can you call your sergeant?
Yep, sure.
Look at my daughter. Are you kidding me? Look at my daughter. For what? Don't take me away from my daughter, please.
Come back to the car. Come on.
Don't do that. Are you a father?
Over here.
I needed to check on my daughter.
You have any weapons on you?
Do you see me with weapons on me? Oh my God.
Step in the car.
You see my daughter and you want to do that in the front of her?
Step in the car, man.
Sir.
In the car all the way.
Please, I apologize for calling you a bitch.
In the car all the way, ma'am. All the way.
Can you please call your sergeant?
In the car. Yep, he's coming.
Can I hear you call him before you close this door?
You have to get in the car, ma'am.
But can I hear you call him? It's hot. You ain't even got. You pushing me.
Yeah, you're under arrest.
For what? But you pushing me.
Battery on Elio and resisting.
I didn't even. I'm fixing my shoe. I did not touch you.
Stay in the car.
An ambulance was called, making the situation even more tensed. Soon, the paramedics arrived to take a look at the child. All the while, she herself was thinking only of her daughter. She was sick and getting into the back seat without her mother in the car. It is when she comes to accept her arrest that the nightmare is laid upon her. When she was still being taken into custody by the officer, she would continue to appeal to him, asking him to put himself in the shoes of a parent who is dealing with such a situation. She would often ask him if he is a father, as if to try to seem concerned with his side. While the officer remained professional, his job was to enforce the law, and he took the mother away from her car. The mother's panic increased step by step with promises of not taking that step, to please not leave her daughter. She appeared a mother who was being punished not for an act of defiance and insubordination, but rather for having allowed her parental instincts to win out over this incident.
Hey, just relax, okay?
How long are you gonna take my mom?
Just relax. Take a couple deep breaths for me, okay?
Are you gonna? How long are you gonna take my mom?
We'll explain all that to you in a few minutes, okay, sweetheart?
I
Just try to
want
relax.
my mom.
I understand. I understand. I understand.
My mom. She's this scared
If you don't get back in the vehicle and listen to me, you know, you, this and that. So then she finally gets back in after she checks on the kid. That's after I requested an ambulance.
Yeah.
So then she gets in the car, she locks the thing, and then I go up to talk to her, and she's like talking to me, and she hits me in the head.
I just got here. I'm not exactly sure who this is. Is it this kid that needs help?
Her? It's one of the kids. I don't know.
One of the kids. Are you the only kid in the car?
My voice had at the off-button and we didn't pick her up. We stopped her. And she has a high fever.
Hi, dear.
She's on top of like seizures or whatever.
This is the only child that's in the car, so. What's that? It's a traffic stop that I guess this one's the female in here started battering him or something. I'm not 100% sure, so.
What's your name, dear? Here, I'm gonna open the door. I don't want you to fall out, okay? What? Hey, do you want to get out? Hey. Hey, what's your name again? Are you scared?
As she sat in the police vehicle, her thoughts moved at lightning speed. She could not believe how a normal traffic stop had escalated to the level it had. Yet still, she would continue to ask to see his supervisor, hoping a sergeant would step in on her case and bail her out. She also continued to fret over her child's well-being, pathetically hoping someone would care for her daughter if her mother was detained. Meanwhile, the officer kept his eye on the ball. When the ambulance paramedics were summoned and arrived in the child, it was ascertained that the girl was indeed extremely ill and in need of medical attention, consistent with what the mother had herself said earlier. While the mother's angst turned ever darker in hue, this stayed a procedurally driven process. A mother could be distraught in her distress, but an officer's role was to effect the arrest process.
I don't know. I'm the single parent. Where's your sergeant?
He's on the way. Do not be held up there.
Why nobody don't want to listen to me?
Well, you're screaming at us. We're not going to talk.
No, I say, can I talk? I'm sorry. My daughter is a little, I'm worried about my child. You really gonna take me to jail for no reason? I didn't even do nothing.
Yeah. All right, right. Got it? Yeah, whatever they go on.
I need to call somebody, but my phone is in the car.
Got that problem on truck.
Can we look for her phone?
Where's your phone at?
It's in my car. My husband is on my phone.
Take a deep breath. Okay, your husband's
I'm worried about my daughter, and I'm worried because I'm going to jail for no reason, sir.
Okay. Your phone's up there, correct? Where's your phone at?
It's in my car. I didn't do anything. I
Just give me a second. Just give me a
promise.
second. Where is that in your car?
It's in my car.
Where in your car?
I just was getting my daughter from
Okay,
school.
let me see if I can find it, okay? Do you guys see a phone up there by any chance? The phone with the charger. Hey ma'am, is that her cell phone right there? Is that her cell phone right there? Would you mind handing me that, please?
Yes.
So we can call someone. I appreciate it.
I gotta get my twins from my.
Okay.
Whatever you need me to do, please.
Park, anybody coming over here?
I think so. Let me look. I don't even know, man. I heard the scream, heard like seizure, so I started stepping up a little bit, and then when they said like, "Oh, there was that," I'm already.
I was basing.
Yeah, I'm already because I'm on U.S. Selling.
Indeed, this episode functioned very well as an excellent example for the human emotion versus procedural duty syndrome. It had turned to a drama of a different proportion as the mother was angry enough that she was going to be arrested. The paramedics were attending to her child, but that didn't make a difference to lower her temper. She pleaded that she be allowed to hold her child. The response she received was that the paramedics had that situation under control, which didn't make her worry less. The mother, who was showing visible signs of distress, explained that she stepped out of the car only to attend to her child. She explained that maternal instinct had prompted the action, where everything was centered on her daughter's well-being. Her emotions ran high as she explained how she had gone to pick her daughter from school earlier. As often as she repeated that she never had an intention to cause any injury, her voice moved from desperation into a pleading tone to be understood. Each tried to calm her down and explain her situation was met by short, firm responses from the officers. They claimed that her actions, though understandable, didn't fit in with what was supposed to happen in a police stop. They reminded her she was not taking her car, that she was a hysterical state. The stress increased when the officer told her they were arresting her for battery on an officer, indicating she had touched his hand, the officer said. The mother got up to protest. It was an accident. That was never an act of aggression.
Please, let me
Ma'am, the more you scream and yell, it's making her upset.
But I'm not screaming. I'm just want to make sure she's okay. I'll stand handcuffed.
She's with paramedics.
Okay, but paramedics is not going to calm her down.
But
Can I please calm her down?
Her sister's on the way to pick up the kids. I'm just trying to figure out.
Park's on his way. I don't know where he is. I don't see his name. He's with me.
Please.
What do you?
I know y'all are parents. I just need to calm my child down.
I understand.
But honestly, I only got out the car to check on my daughter. You can see the note in the car. I just picked her up from school. Right there. I didn't mean no harm. I just got out the car to check on my daughter.
I'm trying to.
Yes.
I know you're upset right now. We have paramedics checking on her right now. She was calm, and then she heard you scream. That upset her. Okay. From our perspective, we can't let you out of the vehicle. Okay.
But why am I going to jail? I only got out to check on my daughter.
Listen,
I'm a mother.
I'm just now getting here, okay?
I know. That's why I said, can I talk to you? But you rolled the window up on me.
Because you were screaming at me.
I'm crying. I'm sorry.
I know you're crying. You can't be screaming at me. I didn't do anything. I'm here.
But I'm not trying to scream at you.
What? You said battery.
Yeah.
So right now you're going for battery and LEO.
But
because you hit his hand, okay?
By accident.
Listen.
But I didn't mean to do it. Come on, sir. You human. Come on, man.
I'm not.
I ain't never in my life touched the officer before, ever.
I was.
She was incredulous, saying she would never dream of hitting anybody. To her, it was just a gesture she made while talking with her hands. In fact, she described it as a totally natural, unconscious thing at the moment of extreme stress. She begged the officer to put her case into perspective, appealing for understanding. At this point, the mother became more outrageous, crying about the injustice of it all and why she was subjected to such treatment for merely attempting to check on her child. She becomes quite irate as she reiterates that she is a mother acting on behalf of her concern. The further refusal from the officer not to release her or to give her some chance to soothe her daughter made matters even worse. She complained to the officer that she was being unfairly punished, especially since he denied her requests to bring her daughter to see her. The insistence upon the procedure seemed to be a harsh approach from her perspective, because the officer would only describe what he did in accordance with procedure, downplaying the charges that prompted the arrest. She pressed further and asked why she was being taken into custody for an offense of battery when she did not intend to cause anyone any harm. In addition, she pointed out that she touched the officer accidentally and should not be taken quite seriously. The woman pleaded, begging for favor, telling the officer, "Have a heart," as she intensified her lamentation over her plight. However, the feedback she received is that this subject had moved past an appeal to sympathy, and the police were set to serve notice. She tried at one point to bring attention to the discomfort in her body, specifically the handcuffs. She asked repeatedly for them to be loosened because there was a cast, and thus the handcuffs were more painful.
Promise. I wasn't trying to. I just was trying to check on my daughter.
Yep.
I cussed you out in the process. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to check on my daughter. I didn't mean no harm. I'm talking with my hands. I'm talking with my hands as they behind my back. That's just the human nature for me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to touch your hand. I didn't try to hit you. I didn't try to touch you. I didn't hit you at all. I touched you. But I didn't try to. Come on. Can you please have a heart?
Nope, we're past that.
How?
It's not
Because
about
I
having a heart. It's not about having a heart.
It gotta be, because I didn't do nothing wrong to you. You gotta know I didn't do nothing wrong to you purposely. Not purposely. Come on. And it's hot back here.
I can roll the windows down more.
Can y'all bring my daughter to me?
No, we can't. We're
They've
past.
done it before. They've done it before. So don't tell me y'all can't do that, please.
No, we're not doing
That
that.
means you just want to be mean because I cussed you out. It's all right. Where's your sergeant, please, before you pull me off?
He's on the way. Don't worry.
This is not fair. I didn't do nothing wrong but check on my child. How was there wrong for checking on my child for being a mother? If I don't check on my child, then I get DCF call. I don't understand. I know you wasn't here. I'm not talking to you per se. I'm just speaking out loud.
I hear you.
But I didn't do nothing wrong. I would not purposely touch an officer.
Our supervisor's coming, all right? I don't know exactly where.
Like, why would I do that?
See if I can find.
Can you loosen up this one cuff on my left arm, my right arm?
Is there anybody else that can drive that car?
Somebody's coming.
Yeah.
But can you please loosen up the right cuff because it's a little tight?
She said the passenger can drive it. Can you run her DL to make sure it's good? Yeah.
Nobody's not going to loosen up the right cuff for me real quick. Just a little bit. The left one is loose. It's just
Let's
the
check
right
him.
one.
Let's check him real quick.
Like, y'all not even
So-
trying to hear me.
Yes, we hear you. I hear you about the cuffs. Which one is it?
The right one.
Okay, that's because it's on your cast. I can't do anything about
I'd rather take off the cast. I don't know.
it. I'm not a medical person.
But this, it's my cast. It's not a medical cast.
No, I understand. I'm
But
not,
it can't be that
I
tight.
take
Can
that
you?
off.
But it's up
It's
some.
loose. It's on your forearm. That's how loose it is.
But can you loosen up a little bit on my
I
forearm?
can't loose it up anymore.
What? But it can't come off. It's hurting my wrist. I already have wrist problems.
The officer glanced briefly and continued to state that the cuffs couldn't be loosened any further, stating that they were comfortable on his wrists. The mother's physical frustration over the restraints was only compounded by what she was already emotionally carrying. For much of the exchange, the mother's concern would lapse back into her child. She could not comprehend why she was denied consolation to her daughter, especially when she felt that the paramedics were doing little to restrain her child.
Please, my baby is still hacking out and I'm not even screaming. Can you please bring her to me?
That's
At least
what
have
your
that much of a
your
heart. Let me
sister
calm her down,
your
please.
sister is on the way to take care of the kids.
But that's my child, sir. Can I please calm her down?
No.
That means you just want to be mean. That's for no reason, man. I didn't even do nothing but check out my child.
She asked the officers why this was so, as earlier in the day, she had seen a similar case where the children were taken to the parents in such instances. She pleaded repeatedly that she should be allowed to settle her daughter down herself, but was informed that the situation did not allow that to be the case. To her, it seemed a futilely capricious refusal. Surely, she felt, the officer could not entertain himself to be playing out of spite over previous scenes on her part? The minutes ticked by. She told them she wanted the shoe they were holding from her. She requested to see a superior officer and continued decrying the actions in regard to what she was facing as not being worth the treatment she was receiving.
She back in your car?
Yeah, she's back in my car.
I'm Sergeant Park Moore with the Sheriff's Office. Boys, give me a second one.
Yeah.
I got a call from my daughter.
Huh?
Right here, Bill.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna keep reporting because she's accusing me of being racist, so this is all just gonna be on record.
I can't go to jail nor my daughter. Okay, so please bring her to me. So I have done that before.
Listen, you really want your daughter?
I do, because I'd rather calm her down than to have her go home like this. Because I don't want her to get sick.
We're gonna let her go. It was a aunt. We're gonna let her calm down, go to your aunt, take your air conditioning, and we'll get your car out of the road.
So you're not going to bring my daughter?
I'm not gonna do that, ma'am, no.
Can you bring my friend to me so she can so I can give her my PIN number for my cards and stuff?
Do that. I'll bring an adult back to the call. I'll do that.
Trailer 213 teletype.
Unbelievable is the way checking for her child can lead one to being under arrest. In her mind, she was justified by her status as a mother, but she was taken to court and taken away from her little girl. The pain, confusion, and disbelief in her voice reflected the depth of her feeling of helplessness as she still kept asking why things had escalated so far. Eventually, the officers continued with their procedures, making it very apparent someone would come to collect her car and that they were waiting for the family member to arrive. They would not budge even when she was protesting, saying that procedures must be followed. However, that feeling that she was wrongfully ill-treated was not erased by the mother. Cries of injustice ran in the air as the situation developed. The cry was for understanding, comfort, and compassionate understanding of the situation. But all this went unanswered. Instead, she needed to personally process the emotional toll of the ordeal.